When I was around 13 years old, I started getting into web design. I found out about HTML from this website that would let me customize my profile with HTML. And I would normally just like copy and paste from the internet, just other stuff to, change it and make it look cool. But then after a while of doing that, I started noticing patterns. And I noticed that I could read some of it, like height equals 500 or, whatever. And I would like start changing things and it would change on the page. And I got super excited because it was just fascinating that I could change something on the computer and it would make such a dramatic change on the screen. And so I got really excited about it. I bought a book on it. And my parents wouldn't let me have a computer of my own, like a laptop or anything like that, like I wanted to. But they eventually let me have this old Windows Millennium computer from the back of their closet. And it was super old. But I figured out how flash drives work, and I was able to start downloading tutorial websites online onto my flash drive, and then start viewing all those tutorials on my computer, started teaching myself all these different things with programming, everything else, and I would just spend forever, playing on the computer, making my own things. I loved getting into my own projects and learning everything that I could. And not just like programming, but like anything. Like, I tried to learn everything that there was to learn about it. It's just so fun. And then when I was in high school, I got to take a programming class, and that really expanded to not just, web design, but like all of programming and even a lot of electronics as well. Ended up making tons of projects on my own time for anything that seemed to fit. Like, just sometimes just for fun, other times it actually had a purpose. Like, I made a little, mouse robot that was actually made out of a computer mouse for fun. That would just like go around and scurry on the floor. And then like another thing was like, I had tons of electronics in my room, and my little brother would always get into the room, and I didn't always want him to, get into my stuff. And so I asked my parents for a lock, and they said no, because everyone else would want one. So I just talked with them a little bit more, and finally they said that they agreed that if I could make a little security system with like a keypad and everything else and gave them the password, then I could have a lock. I made a little, keypad for my room. I went to the dollar store and bought this giant calculator and just took it apart and used the button terminals on it. And I didn't want to go out and buy like an actual like keypad and stuff because it would cost money and I didn't have money. So I just got the one from the dollar store, took it apart, and then I started putting the wires across, like 3 this way, 3 this way. Well, actually it might have been 4 on one of the things. Anyways, made like a little grid layout with that, and then just put electrical tape over everything except the button terminals. And then started wiring it up to an Arduino board and a servo and everything else, and it was great. Just loved making tons of projects like that. I made tons of, other projects on the computer and stuff. Like I made a little like video game in Python. It started out as like a little Pikachu video game. You try and go and find the Pokeball at the end of the level. It's like a 2D platformer, and then it turned into this little blob that would like eat all its enemies, but it would still have to go to the Pokeball. And just, it was fun for me because when I was programming and doing other things like that, I found out that I could have just as much fun as I did when I was like playing video games or other things like that, except I was being productive at the same time. And I'd still love to play video games with friends and do other things like that, but like when I was by myself, like I could have just as much fun and be productive at the same time. So, I figured, why not? I ended up getting lucky, really, really lucky in high school, where I went to this coding competition, and there was a guy named Brad Owen who kind of joined our team, our high school team that was competing against all these other colleges. And he just kind of joined our team because he didn't really have anyone else to go with, and we ended up winning first place, which was business in a box. which basically pays for all the business expenses that a startup would have for a full year, like server space, legal expenses, like everything. And so we didn't really know what to do with it, so we just kind of like talked to him and we're like, so we're still in high school, but we got this and we don't really know what to do with it. He's like, okay, well, anyone who wants to start a business, I guess we could just meet in my basement or something and have a business meeting. And we ended up making a business for local stores where you would go and search through anything that you're looking for. Basically, you just put in your whole shopping list. It would pull up all the items in local stores along with the coupons for those items. Do price sorting and comparison with the coupons. You could go and print it out. And we were making an app for it and everything else. And it was really cool because we were able to make, $20 an hour, like even in development, because Brad would take all these, freelance web design jobs that requested features that we also needed for our website specifically. And so we just build those features and then adapt the code to our website. So we're making money even in development, which is good because we never actually, managed to make any more money after the finished product. But it was great, and it was awesome for the experience as well. And